They're being called the George Flyods of India. The death of a father and son in Tamil Nadu Tuticorin following allegations of police torture before sending them behind bars has sparked huge outrage on social media. P. Jayaraj and his son Benix were arrested last Friday for keeping their mobile phone shop in Tuticorin open beyond permitted hours. They died in a hospital 4 days later. Their deaths have now snowballed into a major political row and triggered calls for law enforcement reform.
This 58-year-old father and his 31-year-old son were arrested for keeping their shop open beyond 8 p.m. in violation of lockdown norms on the night of the 19th of June and kept in jail overnight, where they were allegedly tortured at the police station. 2 days after they were sent to a jail, they died, one after another, in a hospital. The family says the bodies show signs of severe physical abuse, chest hair pulled out, and a lathi used to sodomize them. The Madurai bench of the Madras High Court has ordered government doctors to submit the post-mortem report and ordered a probe by a judicial magistrate. Activists allege 2 of the sub-inspectors suspended now already face torture allegations in the past. Moreover, they say when Jayaraj and Benix were produced before the magistrate the next day, he did not even reportedly see the alleged accused men in person as per the law. Instead, the police kept the 2 in a vehicle and got a judicial remand for them.
This is a brutal case of torture. This needs to be registered as a case of murder. The entire police station, lock, stock and barrel, have to be arrested.
Chief Minister EPS, who heads the police, is silent on these torture allegations. He says the government will abide by the court order. The DMK has threatened to move court for CBI probe if proper investigation wasn't done. A formal statement from the police is expected soon, but their FIR says the father and the son rolled on the ground and injured themselves internally. The big question, will they get justice? And all eyes would now be on the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court for some answers in this disturbing case. In Chennai with Annette Beryl, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
So a formal statement from the police still to come. Remember, it's been a week since these 2 men were arrested. So to call what has happened in Tuticorin as just a custodial death would be a bland understatement of the horror of the incident. Is this a momentary aberration rather than part of a systemic police violence in India? Joining us tonight on the show, Suchitra Karthik-Kumar, well-known RJ, needs no introduction. We have Kasturi, actress, joining us. We have Dr. Sumanth Raman, a political analyst, and A. Vijay Kumar, Member of Parliament, the Rajya Sabha of the All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, or the AIADMK. I want to start with Suchitra, though. Suchitra, because you have in a sense become the face of the Justice for Jayaraj and Benix movement. You created a video, a journalistic piece really, that lays out the alleged brutality in graphic detail, the timeline. It's gotten 1.4 million views just on Twitter. Why did this story reach out to you? It has touched a chord across India. Why is it done that too right now, do you think?
Because, Sarah, there is a lot of detail in the story that would get missed out if I hadn't put it in those 2.5 minutes. There is a lot of different details that I wanted to concentrate on, but for the video, I concentrated only on the details in terms of the physical torture that they went through. It's not true that they died in the hospital. They died inside the prison. They died in lockup, and their corpses were sent out of the prison. So they did not die in a hospital. There's a lot of, including their names. His name is Phoenix, like Phoenix the bird, except it's spelled F-E-N-I-X. There's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of misinterpretation of data that's going on around this case. And I wanted to put down whatever it was that I found out through myself and a few of my friends, Madan Gauri, Ahmed Miran, Raj Mohan, a few very active people in my community, vloggers and YouTubers. Together, we did a little bit of research and we figured out what the details were and we put that together in a video. And I think what really sailed was that it was in English and the entire world could understand finally what was happening down south.
So you brought the story to the attention to the rest of the country, maybe people who don't speak and follow Tamil, and also you were doing a service to these two men. They deserve that much dignity in death, that everybody get the facts of this story right from what you have learned from your reporters. So, Dr. Sumanth Raman, no statement from the police till now, no formal statement. Why do we have journalists having to, and radio jockeys having to find out the details, go by saying that, you know, they didn't die in hospital, they actually died in the police? Why no formal statement from the police? No statement from the government? Is this a routine matter that it doesn't deserve a statement even?
Okay, first let's get two parts of the whole thing together. One is what has allegedly happened, and I clearly that it seems unacceptable what has happened to these two people, and it definitely seems that a case where the strictest action should be taken. By now an FIR should be filed and they should have been taken into custody. But if you look at it very closely, there are two or three angles or places where there has been a failure. There has been a failure at the police level, which is the brutality, which is completely, condemnable. But there has been a failure at the medical level, where the doctor who should not have given the medically fit certificate for remand actually did so, and subsequently a magistrate mechanically remanded them without even ascertaining their physical condition. So it's a systemic failure which happens across states in India. And as far as Chitra's version, I don't know, because the official version we do not know. We just know from family sources and hearsay sources which have been put together by the journalists. So we have to wait for to know what exactly happened.
Okay, Mr. Vijay Kumar, all right. But you know, sir, it has been a week. Imagine telling the family last Friday the father and his son were picked up. The next time they see them, they're dead. Imagine telling them we have to wait for the wheels of the system to move. It has been a week. It is Saturday today. Mr. Vijay Kumar, please respond. No statement from the police so far. No statement from the government, the AIADMK so far.
Now the government is under investigation. After getting the investigation, the government will definitely give the report to the public.
But sir, there have been strong allegations of torture. The police reports to the chief minister. No response to that?
Yeah, normally this is a time for the investigation. But
it takes a week?
Yeah, it may be. I think after even in the SP also told in the court of law, it will, I think the 13th they have postponed the next hearing. Before that, definitely we are getting a very good clear report from the government.
Mr. Vijay Kumar, the FIR claims that these two men were rolling on the ground and so they suffered internal injuries.
No, there is no FIR.
So you're saying two grown adult men who were perfectly fine, healthy men go into the custody of the police and then 4 days later they are dead?
Yeah. So for that only, the clear investigation is done only, we are getting the reports, madam. That's why I am telling you. See, now we are. I am also from outside. You are also from outside. Definitely, the government get a very clear report, and we'll give it to the
Kasturi,
public.
could you respond over here? The government is saying, look, let's not rush things. We want to do this right. We want to make sure we get the facts out, and that takes time. So wait a little. They want to get to the bottom of this matter. To your response, and after that, the Madras High Court that took suo motu cognizance of the custodial deaths suggests that the Tamil Nadu government come up with ideas like counselling and yoga for police, because many are raising the point that the police are under stress right now at the time of a COVID pandemic, and to alleviate that stress, we should go into yoga and and other things like that.
I don't even know where to begin. I'll start with a sound, round condemnation of this kind of brutal custodial murder, which is what it is. And on top of it, my sympathies go out to the family. If I can give that statement out as a citizen of this country, of the state of Tamil Nadu. I don't see what is stopping the leaders and the administrators of our state from actually issuing that that one piece. I mean, even now I'm listening to Mr. Vijay Kumar talk, and he's talking about investigation, and we can only talk about it after the investigation is completed. Sir, to start with, I have been scouring news sources for an indication of remorse from the government or the police, and I haven't found anything. It doesn't have to be the responsibility, even if it was all completely Jairaj's and Benix's fault for dying. We have seen much more speed and alacrity and sympathy while dealing with a child that fell into a tube well not too many months ago. And we have seen much more speed in charging a TV newsreader for sending a private message out that there are no beds for COVID in the state. So the government is very, very fast when it has to act. But suddenly, when it comes to the investigation of brutal custodial murders, we are taking a week or more. I mean, I don't understand that part. I don't understand.
Dr. Sumanth Raman, please respond over here. And the family, for example, has also said that they attempted to meet their family members, their loved ones. They failed. Prison authorities cited COVID-19 fears to deny this request.
No, which is what they said to the magistrate also. When they got the custody orders, they were the two people.
Mr. Raman, one second.
Let Kasturi finish. Because of Corona, you know, if they come out, you know, who knows Corona. This has become a very convenient way to start putting everything under the Corona rug now. You know, we can't show you anything because if I show you something, then, you know, we'll get COVID. It doesn't stop me from getting two people to die. I mean,
coronavirus doesn't take away our responsibility for human rights. Mr. Raman, please respond.
Look. I completely agree that those who are guilty must be given the strictest punishment. They should be charged with murder, pure and simple. There is no other opinion on this. But what I am actually seeing over the last couple of days is an attempt to sort of tar the entire police force in Tamil Nadu with the same brush. The action of 3 or 4 rogue policemen, rotten apples in the force, does not necessarily mean that one tars the entire police force with the same brush.
Look, there are people who are working. Nobody from the
police. Kasturi, please let Mr. Raman finish.
I did not interrupt. Look, the point is the Tamil Nadu police force is among the best police forces in the country. Like in every police force, there are rotten apples in the Tamil Nadu police as well. We will have to ensure, and this is where the government's responsibility comes, in ensuring that these people are weeded out. This is not the first instance of custodial death. In fact, in this very particular case, there's been a report that there was another person who was assaulted by the same set of policemen who died in the last week of May. So I think that there is a serious problem which has to be looked at. But this kind of, asking for, the pressure that this whole government has failed and nothing has been done. Yes, I agree that if the government does not file an FIR charging these policemen with murder and taking them into custody within the next 3 to 4 days, then they would have failed in their duty. Having said that,
Suchitra Karthik Kumar, your response to Mr. Raman saying that, look, there are always bad apples and this whole issue is being politicized.
We are talking about nearly 30 bad apples here, and we're not talking about anecdotal bad apples. We're talking about an entire system that has colluded to rain terror on these two gentlemen. It's not just the 4 cops who got suspended. It's another 10 people who were joined in the beatings. It's Friends of the Police, an organization which also helped them beat up these people. They took turns and beat these people up. It's also the doctors who gave a clear chit when these two gentlemen are clearly completely mauled up. And it's also the magistrate who turned a blind eye to this entire this. So what apples are you talking about now? How many apples are there?
What is the suggestion? What is the solution? The solution is to punish those bad apples. The solution is not to tar and demotivate the entire police force.
The entire police force in Tuticorin is a basket of bad apples. What are you going to do?
I have not been.
Kasturi, last word to you. The solution is not to tar the entire police force. That's one argument we're hearing a lot, that, you know, the police, especially on the front line at the time of this pandemic, they're putting their own lives at risks, and there are people, they're frustrated when people, like in this case, the tragedy is that this father and son, they had kept their store open beyond lockdown hours.
Which wasn't true, Sarah. It wasn't true. They were arrested at 7:30 p.m.
All right. So even that is under contention. But what would you say in response to the argument that the police, it's not the police force? Kasturi, last word to you.
Yes, I have been on the side of moderation. Till today, till this date, I have not come out with an accusatory statement. I have been waiting to hear the side of the police and the government, and I'm still waiting. That's why I'm puzzled. This was an opportunity for the police and the top officials of the police to come out and express their outrage as well, which they have not. So I'm not accusing everybody. I am not out there to tar the police system. I, in fact, agree with Sumanth when he says this is not a time to point fingers at the entire system. This is the time to weed out the bad apples. But that initiative has to come from the police itself.
So you're saying you have very little to work with, given the fact that 1 week after the incident, the police have still yet to come out with a statement, and all we can work with is the FIR that says that these two men sat on the ground and they were rolling around when the police tried to arrest them.
Yeah, what was that all about? Their entire entrails have been removed through their anus, their entire genitalia has been mutilated, their chest hair has been plucked out, and all that happened because of rolling on the floor. How ridiculous is that? Do you want to go through the rest of the statement to see what other ridiculous statements have been made?
Well, which is why we need to get the results of the post-mortem. It has been 1 week since these men were arrested. On Friday, they were arrested. They spent that night in the custody of the police. It is now Saturday. A whole week later, we are still awaiting the results of the post-mortem. But thank you so much, Mr. Vijay Kumar, Kasturi, Mr. Raman and Suchitra Kumar for joining us, and so that we can keep the attention on this story, because justice must be done for the family of Jairaj. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.